UFC Strike just announced the first ever Series 1 pack drop. In this weekly update video, I'm going to give you all the details. We're going to take a look at the marketplace and talk about the future of UFC Strike. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric. My YouTube and my collector name is NFTYsports, and I'm fired up to bring you this one. We got a big announcement from UFC Strike last week. The first ever Series 1 drop will be coming up on March 22nd and March 24th. In two separate drops, there's going to be a standard and an elite drop. We'll go over all the details. We have 25 new contender moments, 15 new challenger moments, and 10 new champion tier moments. I'll break down everything that we know so far, and we'll also take a look at the marketplace and see how Series 0 is going. And at the end of the video, I will play some footage of me talking about UFC Strike with a fellow NBA TopShot community member, TopShot Tandy. In that video, I talk with him about some of the strategies that I have on UFC Strike. It's geared towards beginners. We also talk about our experience with NBA Top Shot and NFL All Day and how experiences on each of those platforms can translate into learning lessons on UFC Strike. So hopefully that's valuable to you. So if you're into NBA Top Shot, I definitely recommend that you take a look at his page. He's got a lot of good interviews on there for you to check out. All right, now let's zoom in and take a look at the marketplace. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and like this video if you get any value out of it. Appreciate you. Let's do it. All right, so we're looking at the marketplace right now. We have $4 as the floor price on these moments. I calculated everything up, and if we scroll all the way down and look at the entire contender set from Series 0, you can pick up that whole set, not including Izzy, for $241. We have Izzy sitting at $251 right now. You know, I think my estimate was a $300 minimum for Izzy. It went up into that $300 range. Some people took profits on it. I think we're just in a little bit of a down market right now. It could continue to go down a little bit. The NFT market and collectibles are pretty volatile. So I'm still happy that I went in and did that Izzy challenge and did a $500 spend, because $251 given back at a minimum is something that is a good return on investment, I think. And especially if you decide to keep it long term, hopefully this thing just continues to rise since it's only minted out of about 2,000. So yeah, 241 for the contender set, 251 for Izzy. The lowest legendary that we have right now, or the lowest champion tier, is $1,400, and then the most expensive is $6,100. My guess is that some of these will continue to slide down in price once Series 1 is released. I'm actually getting rid of a couple of my doubles, not all of them. I'm keeping doubles on a few of them, but I'm selling off some of the doubles that I have gotten in packs so that I can have Dapper Balance ready for the next upcoming pack drop and to use for other things that I want also. If you have any questions, make sure to leave it down in the comment section below. Now let's take a look at the upcoming Series 1 drop. This was released last Friday, so just fresh news right here. They don't give a ton of details, but they do give the number of packs that will be dropped. They give you a teaser of a couple of the fighters, and they also give the dates that they're going to be doing the drop. The dates are March 22nd and March 24th. It'll be the first drop in Series 1. There's going to be 3 tiers in this set instead of 2. Last time there was contenders and champions. This time there are contender, challenger, and champion. So we got the contender moments are going to be minted to 12,000. Last time in Series 0, they were minted to close to 24. This new challenger moment set is going to be 1,500, and the champion moments are going to be out of 99. Some of the fighters that'll be included in this Series 1 drop are going to be Juliana Pena, Charles Oliveira, Jose Aldo, and Nurmagomedov. But it says that in each drop day, so the 22nd and the 24th of March, they're going to be dropping 32,500 standard packs and 1,125 premium packs. One of the nuggets that's important to keep in mind here is the number of packs that will be dropping. This will help you know whether or not you're going to get a pack when you're in that queue. It'll let you know whether or not you can re-enter that line and still have a chance at a second pack if that's something that you want to do. And they haven't released the pricing to any of these yet, but they have said that there will be 32,500 standard packs each day and 1,125 premium packs each day, totaling 65,000 and 2,250 across both days. If it's anything like NFL, the standard packs are $49 and the premium packs are $249, but they haven't given that information yet. So don't hold me to that one. Hopefully they're a little bit cheaper. That would be nice, but we'll see how it goes. As far as whether or not I'm going after this drop, I will let you know once they release the list of fighters. I will probably get at least one of them. Don't know if I'm going to go for the standard or if I'm going to go for the premium. That'll depend on pricing, and that will be something that I analyze as to what my risk and reward factor is. So a couple of cool things to talk about before I let you off into my chat with TopShot Tandy is there are two sections at the bottom here. Let's talk rewards and the road ahead. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so that you're staying up to date. I will be putting out everything that you need to know on UFC Strike for the upcoming drop. So let's talk rewards. We want fans to collect what speaks to them and reward them accordingly. So this tells me looking at something like a spend-based reward, like they did for Izzy, right? They're diving headfirst and looking into ways that fans can earn benefits based on how much you engage with UFC Strike. Engagement can mean how many times you're jumping into the marketplace, how many moments that you're buying at a time, and also how much money that you're spending. Those are just a few of the things that they've used as yardstick or measurement tools on TopShot so far. And that's about it. They said that they're going to share some more details on this soon, so I'll keep you posted on that. And then the road ahead, they have a little blurb down here also. The rest of 2022 promises more pack drops, more athletes making their debut, current and historical unparalleled rewards, with the goal of making UFC Strike the biggest and best community of MMA fans. That's pretty cool to think about because the rest of Series 1, it says that we're going to get some historical fights on there. There are some incredible historical moments within the sport that I'd love to get my hands on as a collector, and that's going to be something to keep an eye out. All right, if you're checking out from here, thanks so much for watching the video. I will keep you posted, like I said, on what the upcoming news is for UFC Strike so that you know how much it costs and what fighters are going to be in this pack drop. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. Really appreciate it. Here's a video with TopShot Tandy where we talk about UFC Strike from a little bit of a beginner's perspective and some of the things that I think are coming ahead. We also kind of relate it back to our NBA Top Shot experience so far because the two go hand in hand, given that Dapper Labs is the parent company of both of them. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Enjoy, and I will talk to you soon. And one of the cool things too about UFC Strike, I think, is that people are saying that the speculation aspect is a little bit more because you can only win or lose, right? You have how many fights does a fighter have a year? 3, 4? Mm-hmm. That would be probably considered a lot. So you win, your stock goes up. You lose, your stock goes down. You have a big knockout, your stock goes up. You get knocked out, your stock goes down. That's an interesting take on it.
Yeah, that is interesting. And it almost feels like I wonder what's the safer play then, because you think about NBA Top Shot. People will say things like, well, the safe play is just stack LeBron, stack Curry's, stack, who is the safe play in UFC? Because in UFC, careers can change in an evening. And LeBron doesn't lose tonight and all of a sudden everyone's selling their LeBrons. So I think that's a very interesting part of collecting on here. And I wonder if it means that's why my personal goal is to just collect like a McGregor, because McGregor is just sort of beyond the wins and the losses. He's just like an icon. So everyone's going to want a McGregor. I just fear that the same thing's going to happen to what's been happening now with Brady on All Day, where like me and everyone else is trying to buy that McGregor, and it's just going to skyrocket. So I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, you got to pick your entry points for sure. I mean that's what I do on Top Shot too. You take your gambles on people who you have high conviction in. Obviously, the younger guys who are already all stars. I don't buy a ton of rookies on Top Shot. Like I think LaMelo's pretty safe at this point for me, like in my conviction level.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, I just don't put as big a bag into it. Like I have a couple rare LeBrons and Stephs and those guys who are going to be Hall of Famers. That's if and when Top Shot as a platform is successful 10 years from now, right? It's all dependent on that. If you hold those, you're going to be solid, right? I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully you're making good buys, but it's the same thing I think over with UFC Strike. I mean, guys that have had the cool thing about the contender set so far that we have out of those 25, and I didn't do the research or the stats on this, but there's definitely people in there who have already won championships that just aren't, holding current belt holders.
Okay.
So, like Francis Ngannou's got a contender moment, but he's also got a legendary championship moment. And yeah, guys like Conor McGregor, those are just icon type of guys. Izzy's going to be one of those icon type of guys. I mean, like he's a superstar. It's not just that he knocks people out. He does it with insane, crazy knockouts. He does the Dragon Ball Z entrance when he comes into the arena. I don't know if you ever saw that, but it was insane.
So he's just like a meme.
Yeah.
So then this might be something that I'm not aware of, which is that if they're in this series, this is the contender series, and then if they're in the legendary, then they're belt holders, and they can't be in the legendary if they're not a belt holder. Is that what it is?
Yeah. So the champion, it's called contenders and champions.
Oh.
So the champions, the legendaries come from championship fights.
Okay. So these are all champions here.
Correct.
These are all okay. So these were all the winners. These were all the belt holders. They may not be current belt holders, but these are all belt holders.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay, that's kind of clever. I didn't even know that about that. I thought it was like Top Shot, where just random popular fighters are given that treatment. But that's kind of cool that there's sort of like a rhyme and reason to what set they're in.
Yeah.
That's kind
Maybe
of cool.
maybe they throw a badge on there at some point in the game. Who knows?
And are you speculating at all about what you think, like how they might gamify this in the future, the same way that Top Shot is gamified through different challenges and now flash challenges? And because right all we've had so far is a spend challenge, basically. Like, have you thought at all about how they might gamify this in the future?
I haven't put a ton of thought into it, but weight class maybe. Upcoming fights for a upcoming match. These guys don't all fight at the same time. It's not like a regular season, right? They put you make this card, you make this fight card, or you make the next fight card, or depending on your fight schedule and when you want to fight and when you want to go for that championship in the UFC, it's a lot more fluid. We talked about kind of already like how the contracts are a little bit different when it goes from sport to sport. So I could see that being a flash challenge or a utility, like play to earn type of thing, right? Get every single person coming up for, the next one is going to be UFC 273. And obviously you're not going to be able to do that right away because there's not a ton of fighters on there quite yet. But maybe there's 5 of them that are coming up on UFC 273. You get all 5 of them, put them in a showcase, and you get airdropped a moment of the champion of that fight, right? Or the main fight, like the title fight, the main card, the one that comes on at the very end. Whoever wins that's the airdrop moment. Who knows? I mean, something like that could be cool. I think we're a little bit a ways away.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm just kind of building up that first. I like the sound of that first ever contender Series 0 set. 25 probably costed, after all the packs that I bought, it cost me $169 to complete the whole 25 set. So
that's awesome.
From a price point perspective, I needed to spend some more. That's why I was stacking for that Izzy. But I mean, things have even come down. So I think you could probably I'd have to look into it. You could probably complete the whole set for a couple $100.
Yeah. Well, it's exciting to be early. You don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, right now is a very volatile time for all collectibles, digital collectibles. As far as Strike, though, what we're talking about in this video, I think that it does feel like sort of more of a traditional collectible in a way because of like the reasons we said, how there's just not a lot of fighters on a particular card. Like there's 2 or 3 or 4 fights in a year. It's just like it's hard to gamify something like that when it's literally just like a few moments this time and then a few moments the next time. So it almost feels like what you said, which is sort of crazy to think about because you would never do like an NBA Top Shot flash challenge, like collect 5 players who are all 6'3" and were born in Philadelphia. Like that, that wouldn't make any sense. But that there might be something like that on UFC because of those reasons that I stated.
Could be a season long thing too. Now thinking about it, it's like there's a top. They have rankings in the UFC, right? It's a thing. It's not like, yeah, they have standings in basketball and football, but it's not a constant rank. A one person, you move up by beating this guy, or you move up because that guy loses, or gal,
Mm-hmm.
female fighters. But yeah, I mean, it could be a full season long thing where it's like, the top 10 guys in this weight class for the year, you can get this extra reward. There's a couple things they can definitely gamify this. But I think my strategy is going to kind of remain the same too, where it's just like I'm looking to build a long-term collection of the fighters that are meaningful. I think that are iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Same with basketball and football.
Are you max paxing on UFC, or you think that it's better to shop on the market? Because I know you're not max paxing on NFL right now, right?
No, I'm not max paxing on NFL, and I won't be max packing on UFC either. For me, I take a look at every single pack drop as its own. I analyze every single one, and the reason why I max packed on UFC is just because it's a Series Zero. It's the first one ever. I think 25 people limited, right? The chances at a legendary, I forget what they were, but they're super small.
Yeah,
Like
I remember that.
0.1% or less. But still, I think for me it was a long-term hold. The reason why I didn't go after the most recent NFL one is because I just didn't like the players or the moments in there as much. They didn't have as much significance. But the one before that had Tom Brady's debut
I remember
and
that. I
had
saw that.
Joe Burrow's debut, a ton of other debuts, and there's no way I wasn't going to max out on that one.
Oh, so how did that go? Did you hit?
I pulled a Brady and a Burrow.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I had
Um,
already bought a Brady on the market for 300, but I got a premium pack. I did the standard pack, got a rare. It wasn't a good one, but it was close enough to breaking even for me that allowed me to go in and another, premium pack, and the premium pack paid off.
That's amazing.
The cool thing, I mean, whether it's UFC, NFL, Top Shot, right? Like it's all still an experiment for a lot of us. Um, they can change it up however they want, and they have. They keep us on our toes, that's for sure. So
Yeah,
we'll see how it
absolutely.
goes. I mean, I'm along for the ride. I'm not going to be. I've already kind of learned some hard lessons to the piggy bank.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just go. I mean, I'm in it for the long term. I'm just gonna see how things pan out in both the UFC and the. I'm not gonna buy stuff. I speculate a lot. Let's just put it this way: I speculate a lot less now than I used to.
So is that then how you've been burned in the past, where you just were speculating on certain players or about like potential challenging people that or what might be in challenges, or what specifically did you do in the past that you're no longer doing?
There's a little bit of that, no doubt. A little bit of like, I think it's just more of a mindset thing, though. Perspective. Like not everything is so special, right? It's you have to take into account everything that's on the platform right now, and then everything that will be on the platform in the future.
Yeah.
I think that's something that a lot of people like were so excited about to get started that like, like we lost sight of it. We were excited. We were in the moment. We're like, okay, this is so cool. This is series 2. This is, we're early on, like there's going to be a bunch of people come in that want this stuff, and it's like, for me, I've been keeping I hardly own any series 3 stuff.
And that's a good point you make too. It's like the supply. We have to really consider the supply. We have to make sure we understand that more supply will be coming. And that's how a lot of people got burnt. They just don't think that, oh, well, and this is a great, like you said, moment of Luka. I'm going to buy it. And then there's another moment of Luka that comes out 3 weeks later, and it just hurts because it's just more supply spread out, and people start to buy the other one as well. And everything of that player starts to drop because there's just more of it available. But anyhow, I think those are good lessons to hold. I don't think we're going to have that same supply issue as much on UFC Strike. UFC Strike feels very up in the air right now. Like it's a challenging thing to predict, but I think based on some of your recommendations, I think it's like small bets, nothing too crazy. Pick and choose some fighters that people who really know what they're talking about are saying are pretty good. So definitely go look up that video on Nifty Sports YouTube channel. I know I'll do that after this discussion. And yeah, I guess we're just about at time, but that was really helpful. I know we kind of spread the knowledge across UFC, NFL, and TopShot. I think they're all sort of interrelated. You can't really talk about one without the other.
I think you're right. You can't really talk about one without the other completely. I think it's important, if you're brand new getting into UFC Strike, that you have a little bit of history of, what Dapper is and what TopShot is and how things have played out, because even though they're their own separate platforms and they'll have their own unique traits, the overall concept is similar. So, yeah, I mean, I think for me, I guess be careful out there if you're going to go buy. If you don't know, if you don't know about UFC, just go pick up the Contender set. Like I said, it's a couple $100, and if you want to dabble in it and like place a bet on NFTs in this brand new NFTs in this sport that's really popular worldwide, first ever set. That's what I was doing, and I'm not dumping a whole big bag into it. I think it's just cool. Because if you believe in set utility too, I think maybe you'll have an airdrop pack coming to you. Maybe you'll get a raffle for the next fight in Vegas and get put up at the MGM or whatever, who knows? I mean, these things are worldwide. So they seem to be behind it, and they have the sport just has tons of, iconic personalities in it. I mean, like, these guys are ultimate. Guys and girls are ultimate alphas, just going out there taking each other's heads off. So it's fun.
All right. Well, there you go. So anyway, thanks so much for hanging out, and I look forward to the next time.
Same, Tandy. Thanks. Take care.